Well, welcome. I'm Erwin van Hune. I work for Rancor, and Rancor is the company that is behind the SPCAF, the Code Analysis Framework. And I'm here today together with Vesa Juvonen from Microsoft, and we're going to talk about the Sandbox Solutions Inspector. Tiny bit of information about me. I am the product owner for transformation tooling at Rancor. And as the name gives away, I work mainly with transformation. One of the products I'm currently working on, which will be released very soon, is the SharePoint Transformator. But on the side, I also work on other products within Rancor. Contact information you can see here on the slide. As I said earlier, I'm here together with Vesa. Maybe you can introduce yourself, if you want.
Yes, thank you. You, by the way, did a great job on pronouncing my name. That's a good thing. So my name is Vesa Juvonen. I'm a senior program manager in Office 365 or SharePoint engineering, and I've been leading the PMP, the patterns and practices effort for quite a few times, or quite a few years. Erwin is one of the guys in the patterns and practices initiative as a core team member, and we've been closely working, obviously, with the Rancor guys in general. Around the transformation guidance as well. And that's my contact information.
Right. Thank you for being here. So what's happening? Can you tell us a bit, Vesa, what is happening? Why is there an issue with Sandbox Solutions currently?
So we, in the Microsoft side, we have now decided to close down the support for code-based Sandbox Solutions in the SharePoint Online. And it's really important to now notice that it's a SharePoint Online when we start. Obviously, it might trickle down to the on-premises side as well. The code-based Sandbox Solutions were already deprecated back in 2014. Now there has been an announcement where we are saying that there's a 30 days time frame to get the Sandbox solution migrated to an alternative technologies. And that's why we are actually within this call try to give you some insights and a help, free assistance on making this happen. A few things to kind of notice. There's no plans to deprecate or remove for declarative Sandbox solutions. So if your Sandbox solution does not contain assembly, it will keep on working in the SharePoint Online for time being. So we don't have any plans to actually deprecate or remove that support.
And with that, you mean, like, for instance, like a web part or code that is like executing. Am I correct?
Yes. So anything what is inside of the assembly, a visual web part, or event receiver, or feature receiver, those are the ones which are impacted. If you actually are using a Sandbox solution to deploy, for example, branding assets or deploying a web template or a site template, and that Sandbox solution does not contain an assembly, you are still able to activate that within your SharePoint Online tenant.
Cool.
And there are quite a few nuances around this one. For example, the Visual Studio, when you create a Sandbox solution by default, even though you wouldn't add a web part or a code to it, it will actually compile an assembly inside of the Sandbox solution. So that's something to be aware of as well. And right now we are recommending you to move away from a Sandbox solution if you do have a web part or code-based implementations so you would be moving the SharePoint adding model or remote-based solutions. So your code wouldn't be running in the SharePoint Online anymore. It will be running somewhere else, or if you will be implementing stuff using the client-side technologies like JavaScript for the UI modifications.
Okay, cool. So when we heard this news at Rancor, we were like, okay, so what can we do? Are we affected? And of course, most people are affected that run code. And we were thinking, so what can we do to help people out there? Realizing that we have the SPCAF product. And we looked at it and we decided, like, why don't we create an application for free that we give away, which is based upon the SPCAF code analysis engine, which gives you basic insight in what is in those solutions. I mean, if you're a bit good in scripting, you would be able to go to the site, download the solutions, etc., or see if there's any Sandbox solutions. But with our engine, we allow you to give you a tiny bit more insight in what is actually in those solutions, what is going on there. Now, as I said, it's a free product, so we don't give you all the insight that we actually can provide. If you want more detail, we would recommend you to either download the trial version or, even better, purchase a full license of SPCAF. So without going through more text on the slides, maybe we should demo what the product is all about. So what you're looking at is a pretty early build of the product, and this will come out in a couple of days from now, actually. So what we allow you to do is to connect either to your tenant admin site, and then we will discover all the sites in there, or you can connect to a specific site collection if you just want to scan a specific site collection. Right now I entered the URL to my tenant admin site, and if you look on the other options here, we allow you to rework the solutions. If we find a solution with an empty assembly, we will repackage that solution for you. So you don't need to download Visual Studio or have an installation of Visual Studio there and open the package in there and take away the assembly. We can do that work for you. We will not automatically upload that solution back to the server. That is up to you to decide if you want to do that or not, and we will provide that file in a download folder on your local file system. So if I just keep that one unchecked and start my analysis. Now during this process, it will connect to your tenant admin, and it will show a little pop-up that tells you to authenticate to your site. So I'm logging in here. And during this process, you will see a few of those pop-ups pop up, but you will not have to authenticate anymore. So it's just one-time username password that you authenticate. It supports multi-factor authentication, etc. And it connects to the sites. It discovered 24 sites in my case, and it's analyzing them right now as we speak. So it goes through all the solutions that it found in there. It downloaded the solutions, and the SPCAF analysis engine analyzed what is in those solutions. And out comes a report that you will see, and you see that it found a solution without an assembly, and that one is located in sites demo 1, and it found a solution that is with an assembly, which is in site demo 2. So it basically tells you like, hey, there's some action you have to take right now, because this solution will stop working in 30 days. So if I open my report, this is an HTML report. You can share this with all kinds of people within your organization if you want to. So you see here all the analyzed sites that it went through. So if I scroll a bit down, you find here a sandbox solution with a complex assembly. That solution is currently not active. If I open this one, we'll show you that we found a list instance, we found modules, we found list definitions and event receivers. We also found a web part in there. As you see, there's a couple of duplicates right now in this list, and this will be fixed before we actually release the product, within most likely hours from now. So this is what it does. It gives you insight in your environment, what is out there, which solutions do I have in which sites, and what is in those solutions. Now we use, as I said, we use the base engine of SPCAF. So this report is similar in type as what you get with the full release, although there you can actually look into the list instances, you can look into the modules, into the list definitions and the event receivers, etc. We even show you code of those without the need of having Visual Studio installed. So if you have a complex environment with hundreds of site collections, for instance, this tool really helps you to get an overview of what is out there, which actions you have to take, or maybe you're all good and you have all these solutions without assemblies in there.
One thing that I would actually on this one, there's this great report and great additional input. So back in the last week, we released that one script which is actually scanning through the sites and checking if there are sandbox solutions and if they contain a code. This is, however, doing that in a slightly more detailed way and also in a slightly more consumable way. So it's not just an CSV output. So you can actually drill down what the solution is containing. And one thing what's really nice about this tool is the recompiling of the sandbox solution if it's a no code, if it's a sandbox solution which contains an empty assembly. So the people who are using the tool, or you would have to do that manually, and that could be a slightly complex thing to do. Rather automate that using this kind of a tooling.
Yeah, you don't have to be a developer. Basically, that's the endpoint. You don't have to understand Visual Studio and etc. We will just do that for you. Yeah.
Yeah. And no doubt from my Microsoft perspective, well, I would just say that obviously we've been working very closely with Rancor on the transformation and the PNP in the past. You can use whatever tooling what's needed, or your choice to use whatever tooling what you want. This is, however, a free tool, which will be available quite soon after this recording was done. Which will certainly help on compiling and analyzing your existing situation. So what needs to happen and what are the needed actions against your tenant. And one thing what I like about this one is that it's a clear UI. So if you're more an IT pro manager, you're not even familiar with PowerShell, you don't need to download that stuff from GitHub and start using it. You can use the UIs and get a clear report. What's the situation within that particular tenant? So you can be sure that what's actually happening and what needs to happen within 30 days. One additional note on the 30-day remark. Already right now, we are in a situation where you cannot activate a Sandbox solution within SharePoint Online if they contain a code. So all of the Sandbox solutions which are within a SharePoint Online, they will keep on working for the 30 days. And then after that, they won't be working. So the engine will be shut down in the SharePoint Online side. So it is absolutely important to go through and analyze your existing environment.
Yep, indeed. As you said already, it doesn't require you to know anything about PowerShell, etc. There are no dependencies connected to this tool. It doesn't require you to install anything else. It's just a single download. It's one executable. You run that one, and you will get this report. So, and it can run basically in every version of Windows. Okay. If you want more information, let's go back to the slide. One more slide. If you want more information on where to download this tool, I urge you all to go to spcaf.com. We will post information about where to get it and the URL there. We will also obviously tweet this. And thank you for today. And thank you, Vesa.
Thank you, Irving. Thank you.
Thank you.